strongest armies are all set to hold talks. Lieutenant generals of both the armies are all set to come face to face. This will be the second time in the course of 6 days that India and China are holding a second round of talks. In a new development, China has now appointed a new Army commander for the Western Theatre Command Ground Forces who would be participating in the Indo-China talks. As far as India is concerned, it would be represented by the Leh Base 14 Corps commander. Let me go across to our executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor, who's been getting us all the latest as far as these talks are concerned. Abhishek, please break it down for our viewers. What are we to expect as far as the Lieutenant General talks are concerned on Saturday?
Well, Shravan, India's position is clear that a status quo ante has to be established so far as the recent Chinese transgressions are concerned, both in the Galwan Valley and the north of Pangong Lake. But there is a breaking news development which I can give in between, that joint secretary level talks have happened on the side of respective foreign ministries, the Ministry of External Affairs here, Joint Secretary Secy Naveen Srivastava, and his Chinese counterpart in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Wu Jiangao, and they have both reiterated that India and China have to settle their issues diplomatically by peaceful means and within established mechanisms as directed by respective leaders. So it seems that a de-escalation is building up as the talks happen tomorrow. This is not the first time that the diplomats have spoken. In fact, I would say even the diplomats, like the military commanders on the ground, have been talking a lot with each other between New Delhi and Beijing. But what is important is that in the last 10 days, we have not seen any statement coming from either side which can lead to any kind of escalation. So it seems that things are moving in the right direction. This statement that has come from the Ministry of External Affairs about the Joint Secretary Secy and his Chinese counterpart talking to each other seems to be constructive and in the right direction. And hopefully, the commander-level talks that happen tomorrow in Moldo, Shravan, they would take things further, irrespective of whether the Chinese move back tomorrow itself or over a period of time.
Well, Abhishek, I just also want you to weigh on this with regards to what we have really seen in the run-up to this Lieutenant General talks. There have been military talks that took place, at least 6 we were given to understand, which have essentially failed. But thereafter, we've seen some sort of a retreat from the Chinese side, at least on the places of confrontation in Galwan, where roughly about 2 kilometers is where we are given to understand that the Chinese army have retreated, Indian army about 1 kilometer. So does that also indicate that somewhere down the line, China is already softening their stand?
Well, they had to. Shravan, there is a context in which this unusual transgression, I would say, has happened, and the context are two. One, the happening of National People's Congress, which is like their annual parliament session, and the leadership has to show that they are in control and command and they are ruling the world, so to say. And also in the context of China being the suspect as spreader-in-chief and having been cornered by the rest of the world. So little anxious Chinese leadership trying to show that they are in control of things, and that's why they have kind of tried to bully their neighbors. Having said that, what is important is that India has been firm. Even our response has mirrored deployments, for example, and that would have put the Chinese on the back foot a bit, because that element of surprise that they thought they would impose on us has not happened, and now there is no further surprise possible, because from here on, if they want to escalate, both sides are fully prepared. So I believe de-escalation is the only direction left, and that is actually building up if you look at the statements over the last 1 week from both the sides. So things moving in the right direction, and now over to the commander-level talks, core commander-level talks that happen tomorrow morning.
Well, thank you very much, Abhishek, for putting this into perspective. Republic Media Network, viewers, is your destination tomorrow, where you would be getting all the latest updates fronted by our executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor.